for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Coupe Stanley pour les Canadiens. Leur 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs!
And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. Bittt. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, the Sick Podcast on this Thursday, July 27. How is everyone doing tonight? I'm happy to be here. And, of course, you're watching me right now on YouTube Live, on Twitter Live, and on Facebook Live. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do so. The Sick Podcast. I'm Marinaro. Let me move over so you can actually see it a little bit better. Look at that. There we are. There's my name right there. Look. The Sick Podcast brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group, recently named by Deloitte and CIBC as one of Canada's best managed Canadian companies, or one of Canada's best managed companies, of course. The country's leading business award recognizing innovative and world-class companies. The best managed Canadian companies designation fuels Energy's purpose of creating progress for their customers, their employees, and their communities. Join a winning team and check out Energy's career page for available opportunities. Also, brewed in Quebec and a winner of a dozen international awards. The Sick Podcast is also brought to you in part by La Bittt at Tibi. Offers quality microbrewery beers made with premium ingredients for everyone's taste. La Bittt at Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And, of course, the Sick Podcast also brought to you in part by Playground. July's Power Week is a must-play poker event from July 22nd to the 30th, featuring 5 Playground ring events and over $300,000 in guaranteed prize pools located just over the Mercier Bridge, only minutes from downtown Montreal. Playground free sweet table every Saturday night as of 10 p.m. I saw something today across the net. I saw something on Twitter and I saw it on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, this is the story here. We have to react. We have to react. All right. So there's an article that came out in a Slovakian daily sports paper. Okay. And Tomáš Prokop, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, who works for Denik Sport, had a sit down with Juraj Slafkovsky. And they talked about several things. So the second I saw this and I said, oh, you know what? Okay, Slafkovsky, and they're talking about this, that, whatever. You know what? I'm going to get on Simo the Snake Boisvert. I have to get his opinion on these several key issues that were brought up in this interview. Snake, what's going on?
I'm doing fine. You, Tony?
Guarda sta bellezza qua. Look at this guy. Hey, you're really in summer mode. Check moi ça, mon chum. Wow.
It's July 27th, and
wow.
What else am I going to do? Wear a winter coat?
Lower that camera for a bit. I see pipes. It reminds me
of...
I
don't have pipes. I don't have pipes, so I'm
no
not...
pipes. Oh, that's right. You're not a bodybuilder. You're a track and field runner because I think you challenged me to a race about a week ago.
Oh yeah, and I will win that race, but I'll never challenge you for any weightlifting contest because
no,
I'm gonna get an F.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? 50-meter run, 100-meter run? What are we talking about here exactly?
How about 50?
50-meter run. All right.
Yeah.
And how are you preparing for this? Are you preparing at all or just because you're in shape? Because I'm wondering if I should take a page out of Rocky's book and start chasing chickens around.
Look, 50-meter run. I haven't run this in about 20 years, but I'm very slim and
very slim.
Yeah, so I just think I'm going to win. That's all.
And I'm not as slim, so you have less weight to carry than me. And to push and there, so you like your chances. Hey, listen, anyway, we're going to get to this run because it's going to happen. And by the way, I'm going to end up beating you because I usually come out on top every time there's a challenge, whether I issue it or whether I receive it. But anyway, you're going to get to know me pretty soon, better than you have already. But guarda sta bellezza qua, Quentin Musty. So, hey, here I am today. So this article comes out, okay? This article comes out, and it's on Twitter. And the gentleman who wrote it, shared it with a few people. So, I came across it and I'm reading and all of it. And you know what? It was a very, very basic interview. But then I saw someone else, right? A couple of fans who have set up an account, right? Actually come to know them. I hung with them a couple of days ago. Seemed like pretty decent guys, to tell you the truth. But they came out, right? Breaking news! We interrupt this daily bulletin because we have breaking news. Are you ready for the breaking news? Did you see this, by the way? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I just saw bits of it on Twitter, but I didn't read the whole thing.
But did you see the headline that said breaking? Did you see that? In capital B, R-E-A-K-I-N-G. Breaking. And the breaking news is that Juraj Slafkovsky, who played 39 NHL games this past season, who scored 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points, which if he would play 82 games, would translate to probably a 21-point season. Juraj Slafkovsky believes that he will have a better season this season than he had last season. Breaking! This is breaking news. So I had to get you on to talk about it.
Okay.
This is huge news. Like, listen, don't get too excited here. What do you want me to tell you here? How did your date go with Anne-Marie last week, by the way?
Oh, it went very well. And there were more dates after we spoke. So,
Oh, there were more dates. Really?
She's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend.
Oh, she's your so this was not this is a full-time thing here.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a while or what? What's the story here?
A couple of months.
A couple of months. You even sent me a picture, by the way. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, so when you guys went out last week, we were doing the podcast, and we're about an hour in, and then you had to go because the blue pill kicked in. You said, "I gotta go. I got a date," right? And then I let you go. Yeah. I want to know that once we got off the podcast, how long before you talked to Anne-Marie about Quentin Musty?
I never spoke to her about Quentin Musty.
He never came up?
It never came up because...
Oh, really?
As much as you think I'm obsessed with Quentin Musty,
yeah,
I can separate my personal life and my crazy hockey life.
Wow, good for you, man. I'm proud of you. Yeah. All right, okay. So now let's get back to the topic of conversation here tonight. Is Juraj Slafkovsky, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in 39 games last year. Believes he'll have a better season in year 2 than he will in year 1. By the way, in all your years of working in and around hockey, have you ever heard a player interviewed by anybody ever say that they believe that they were going to have a worse year than they did the year before? Like, has that ever happened?
No. Not even Jonathan Chichu would have said 20 years ago when he scored 56 goals. Well, next year, I think I'm going to go down to 35 goals. Not even he would say that.
But this is breaking, though. Breaking. You have to come up with something at the end of July. What can I tell you here? You gotta make it breaking. We gotta get clicks here.
Or you could take time off.
Hey, listen, I gotta hand it to them because it has me talking about it, right? Whether I'm having fun with it or not. I mean, it's breaking. All right. So, all kidding aside, we were just having fun. Here's the gentleman that Slafkovsky spoke with. If we can bring him up. There he is. There's Tomáš Prokop. All right. There's a story. Not so sure if you understand Slovak or not. But he talks about Slafkovsky. And he also talks about Simon Nemec. And in this piece, Philip Mesar's name comes up. All right. So now, I'm not going to go out and read this to you in Slovak because obviously I don't know how. But there was some kind of Google Translate that was floating around, which is going to be full of mistakes. Okay, so we'll break it up in a couple of parts here. He will no longer live with his family in Montreal. For now, I will be alone, and I will take care of Philip Mesar. On another note, on his knee, I was skating even before I left Montreal at the end of the regular season. Felt good, was getting better. The knee got stronger. I hope everything is 100%. And an 8-month break, obviously, going into camp. There's some other quotes. The special training. It was about a couple of weeks ago that I had Nicolas Cloutier on of TVA, who wrote a great article regarding Slafkovsky trying to increase his lung capacity. I miraculously managed to reach a good number in a month and a half of this training. The coach didn't understand how I was doing so great. I'm still doing it. They explained to me that if I want to improve the speed of the first 3 steps on the ice, I must have more lung capacity. And regarding the pressure of the fans in Montreal, they'll definitely expect more. I expect that. I believe that I'm well prepared and will be better in my rookie year. I've lost some weight, but we will see if I will be faster on the ice. I think so. Let's start with that. So let me write down a few notes here, okay? Dropped weight, okay? Dropped weight. Increased lung capacity, okay? Will be better. 8 months without playing. Will live, looks like, with Mesar. And by the way, Kent Hughes has asked Uri to show up in Montreal on August 1st, so early next week. So let's get to this one at a time. The dropping weight.
Yeah.
Uri Slafkovsky, over 6'4" and about 238 pounds. Everyone had an opinion on this past season. He's big boned. We know that. He's a big boy. We know that. But 238 is quite a bit of weight. Was he carrying too much weight, in your opinion? Yes or no, and why?
I think yes, because he's only 18 years old. So what is it going to be when he's 30? Because 238 is quite big for an 18-year-old. And that's what I was thinking.
What I would give to be 238.
Pardon me?
What I would give to be 238. Don't laugh here.
What I would give to be 200.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but seriously, I think it's a little bit heavy for an 18-year-old, and I think it's a very good decision to lose weight. I don't know why he got so big. I know, like you say, he's big bone and everything, but I would have seen this guy more around probably 218, 220. I don't know how much weight he lost, but I would see a guy like him with his frame to be around, I would say 220.
Is it safe to say that it all depends on what kind of player you want him to be in terms of which weight is more appropriate? Let me explain. If you want Uri Slafkovsky to play like Brady Tkachuk, maybe the 238 is more appropriate. If you want Uri Slafkovsky to play like Rantanen, maybe the 218 is more appropriate. Does that make sense to you?
I think you have a very valid point. The only thing is, my concern is that he's only 18. If you're through 238 at 18, what are you going to be at 23? 250? What are you going to be at 28? 260? That's not a hockey player's physique, ideal physique.
No.
So I remember Eric Lindros was quite tall and big.
Yeah.
And
so was his brother.
He maintained his weight. So
yes.
I guess it's fine. He didn't balloon, to 260 or anything. But I'm just saying that, to me, for an 18-year-old to be 238, for a hockey player, it was a little bit too much. So, and even Brady Tkachuk was not 238 when he was drafted. So as to how you want him to play, I think a combination of both would be the ideal player.
How much do you reckon Jaromir Jagr weighed when he was at his best? Because his ability to protect the puck, he was solid too. When we were talking about big bones here, we're talking about a big man in Jaromir Jagr. But down the stretch, as he got older, it seemed that weight that he was carrying got a little bit more.
True.
And really slowed him down. Now it's the law of physics. You're obviously going to slow down as when you get older. But
sorry.
What I'm asking, I guess, is can he be as good as he can be at 238?
I'm not sure.
Clearly, they don't think he can.
No.
Because they've asked him to drop some weight in the offseason.
Yeah, because he has to be quicker. And like you mentioned, his first few steps have to be quicker. And he also needs to follow the pace of the NHL. The pace of the NHL, it gets faster and faster every year.
It's fast.
Yeah. So if he's just like carrying, lumber, on his back,
then
it's not good. He's not going to score 70 points like most people are expecting him to. I don't think anyone is expecting Slafkovsky to be Connor Bedard or even a 90-point player, but they are expecting at least out of the number one pick, a first liner getting 70 points, I would assume.
I think it was Danny Dubé who probably, give or take, about 4 or 5 months ago was saying that he thought that Slafkovsky was carrying too much weight. And I think he said he would have liked to have seen Slafkovsky, and I'm going off the top of my head here, anywhere between 210, maybe 215 max, right? And everyone had an opinion on this. And then, now he's dropping weight in the offseason. I think a lot of people would like to see Slafkovsky a little bit lighter because, he has ability. We saw it. And I think people want to see him fly down that wing and have that extra step to get around the defenseman. And the weight he was carrying last year, it was more of a crashing effect than it was a speed bayou effect.
Yeah. Because, last year he was an 18-year-old player in the NHL.
Yeah.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
No one was expecting miracles. If he had gone to a junior team, he probably would have had 100 points and he would have been seen as, the top junior prospect, top player not in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
Now, next year he's 19 years old.
Yeah.
Logan Cooley's coming into the NHL, as we saw today.
Yes.
He was drafted number 3.
Earlier today.
I
love that kid, by the way. I love that kid.
Oh, yeah. Simon Nemeth will probably be in the NHL too. So, there's going to be like more comparisons made between Slafkovsky and his draft class fellows.
Yes.
So I'm not saying it's a make it or break it year, but you have to see.
Mais là, j'espère pas. At 19 years old, second season of the National Hockey League, you start talking about make it or break it, you're never going to be on the Sick Podcast again.
No, because look at Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes had a very, very tough 18-year-old season. Yes. 19 years old, he was a little bit better. And then at age 20, he started showing why he was the number one pick in 2019. So I think with Slafkovsky, what we want to see this year is progress.
Yeah.
If he can play 82 games, what about 15 minutes per game and 40 points? Would that be good? I think that would be good.
I would be very happy with that. I would be very happy with that. If Juraj Slafkovsky can go too, because basically 40 points would pretty much double his production from year one. Because once again, the 10 points in 39 games, you average it out over 82 games, you're probably looking at around 21 points. So if he can actually double that and get about 41 to 42 points in an 82 game season, now all of a sudden we're looking at a point every other game. I'm happy with that. Very, very happy with that.
To me, that's progress.
Well, progress would be, of course, it would be progress. 100% it would be progress.
Yep.
What element of his game do you most want to see him improve?
Quickness.
I want to see the head up.
Quickness.
Is the quickness the reason why he's getting tagged? more so than the head not being up to begin with. His reaction time.
Yeah, probably that's what I mean by quickness. I don't have the precise word.
Yeah, I understand.
But what I'm saying is probably complementing what you're saying. He has to be more dynamic, I would say, but that includes, being dynamic. It includes a wide range of qualities in a player. So I would say, quickness, more dynamic. You have to be like this in the NHL, unless you're the type of player who slows down the pace, a la Malkin. But there's not that many Malkins out there.
But think about it, Snake. Yeah. He's playing prior to the National Hockey League, he's playing on a bigger rink.
Yeah.
With players who aren't as good, as skilled, or as fast.
They're just older. That's all. They were
just older.
They were just
and now
older.
he comes to the National Hockey League and he plays on smaller ice surfaces versus players that are bigger, stronger, faster, and better. There's a big adjustment to make there. Big adjustment.
Part of me
like you do your thing in the media, right? But when you come on the Sick Podcast, you're going to have to be at your best. It's a big adjustment. You're taking an extra step. Let's commencer à jouer avec les grands. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And I can also joke around more, of course.
You can joke around more with me, 100%. I don't think it. As a matter of fact, you were watching last night when me and Grant McCagg were giving the shots about Quentin Musty. You were watching, eh?
Yeah. And I saw the replay this morning because someone texted me about it, but I watched it this morning.
Oh, someone texted you about it, really?
Oh, yeah.
So do you have a member of your entourage who's one of those that they like to light fires like we all have?
No.
We all have someone in our life that they just have nothing better to do. So what they do is they throw a text message every day or this or that, or they give you a call because they like to light those fires. You understand what I'm saying?
He just said that Grant is making fun of you. That's it.
Oh, Grant was making fun of you.
Yeah.
This is what I want. You want to know what I want? And it's probably, I have to bring this up with Grant. Okay. In my ideal world, okay, let's make it somewhat feasible here. Every 2 weeks, twice a month, I want me, you, and Grant together. All three of us. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. Do we get equal speaking time?
You think when I'm on the radio, I get equal speaking time or on TV? You got to impose yourself, my friend. Okay, well, we can put everyone on a clock if you want. Are you worried you're not going to get speaking time? Or?
No, but I don't interrupt people usually. I want my fair share of time. Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. But I just want my fair share of time to make my points.
All right, okay. You know what? This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit back now. What do you want to talk about? Give me a point that you want to make. I'm going to sit back. And you know what I'm going to do? For all the times that you have not received equal mic time, either here or on radio or on television, I want to give you all the time that you want. I'm going to make myself a cold coffee. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put up my feet, and I'm going to listen to you talk. You want to do that?
Well, yeah, but
this could be your show.
Yeah, but I don't know what to talk about on July 27th.
You don't know what to talk about. That's why you're in that chair. And I'm in this chair.
Exactly. I need to
You're on the sofa.
I need to be
and I'm on the gamer chair.
Exactly.
You're in Le Canton de l'Est, and I'm in beautiful Ville Salle.
Okay.
You have your windows open. I'm closed off with my Guy Lafleur autographed chair right there.
It's cool.
Le Démon Blanc.
Yeah.
Flower. Guy Lafleur.
Didn't you want to talk about Mesar?
And now we're going to talk about Mesar. We haven't finished talking about Slafkovsky. You want to jump to Mesar? If we talk about Slafkovsky for 10 minutes, talk about Mesar for 10 minutes, the podcast's over after 20 minutes.
No. Bring up your other.
Do you know how many people are watching on YouTube right now, Snake? Do you know?
Thousands?
There hundreds of thousands of people are watching us right now. It's not true. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching us right now. Will be watching us tomorrow, the day after, and all of that stuff. And of course, we owe everything to Energy Transportation Group, La Bittt Tibi, and Playground. Thank you very much. I also want to give a shout out while I can to Murphy Clinic. Murphy Clinic, by the way, Snake. an aesthetic clinic specializing in medical aesthetic care. They offer permanent laser hair removal as well as a wide range of treatments for skin problems such as acne, rosacea, fine lines, and more. They currently have 2 clinics, one located in Montreal, Shop Angus, and the second on the North Shore in Terrebonne. They're also opening soon in Quebec Cité. Visit murphyclinic.ca or on Instagram at Murphy Clinic. Okay, now we can move on to the next point. You want me to get that cold coffee or not?
No. Well,
I won't.
I'm just following your lead.
Okay, thank you. That's what leaders do. That's what followers do. They follow the leaders. You be the follower, I be the leader. Listen to me now. How do you feel about Slafkovsky, who lived with his family last year, but will not live with his family this year? How do you feel about this? We're going to have a good conversation here. I feel it coming already. How do you feel about it?
I think it's fine because
I don't like it.
Okay, well, usually what happens, okay, when an 18-year-old player lives with a family, except for Sidney Crosby, they usually move on at age 19. And usually they move in with teammates who are maybe same age or a couple of years older. That's what happened with Ottawa. Josh Norris, Brady Tkachuk, Tim Stützle, they were living together. I think it's fine.
Brendan Gallagher, Josh Georges.
Yeah, I'm not saying that their diet is going to be great, unless they get the meals prepared for them by the Canadian chef.
Malkin with Gonchar.
Yeah. So, but I think it's okay. I mean, 1 year with a family is enough.
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it? You want them to stay with some family for until they're 25 and they can't bring girlfriends home?
I'm going to tell you why I don't like it.
Okay.
Are you ready? You want to hear it?
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Okay.
Right? That's one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Yeah, I know. A Few Good Men, 1992, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore.
Now he turned out to be a movie expert. He hardly knows that. You went from a scouting report on Quentin Musty to a movie review. Listen to me.
I'm a filmmaker, Tony.
Good for you.
Well, you don't believe me, but I'll send you an article. I was in Eco Vedette in May.
Je t'avais toujours dit que tu étais un vedette, toi. Now we know why. Eco Vedette.
Yeah. I'll send you the article after the podcast.
Now, are you a filmmaker? Were you also an actor? Because Little Bird whispered in my ear that you auditioned for Emmanuel 5, but I hear that unfortunately you came up a little short. Is that true or what?
Well, it depends on what you mean by short, but let's say I didn't get the part. Yeah.
Sylvia Christel, what a great show that was.
Who passed away a few years ago. Yeah.
May she rest in peace. 100%. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to tell you why I don't like it.
Yeah.
This is Montreal, my friend. This is a different animal. You understand what I'm talking to you about? A hockey player in Montreal is a star. They have this city in their back pocket. They go out. Everyone looks at them. Everyone talks about them. Everybody wants a piece of them. You, my friend, can be the best hockey player in the city, the most average hockey player in the city, the worst hockey player in the city. But if you're a hockey player, the city is yours. You can have whatever you want, when you want, how you want it. And all of a sudden, everyone wants a piece of you. Everyone wants to hang with you. Everyone invites you to their establishments. And that comes with temptations. That comes with friendships. Some of them good, some of them bad, some of them not so good. I'm not going to tell you that I want him home 24 hours a day and I don't want him to go out. That's not true. But I want him to choose his spots. I want him to know where to go, when to go, how to go. You understand what I'm talking to you about? I want him to live with a veteran on the team. Brendan Gallagher, you never heard a bad thing about Brendan Gallagher. Never. You never heard nothing about Brendan Gallagher because Georges did a great job with him. He took him under his wing. But others that you did hear some things about and others that you didn't, they got burned by Montreal. Montreal got the better of them. And they could have been so much better had they lived a more tranquil lifestyle. So I love Juraj Slafkovsky, and I'm sure he's a serious kid. it's not you know the thing when your kids go out and you say, you know what, it's not about you, it's about, you know, the others and where you're going and this and that or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that he's not going to be living with his family at 19. And if he's not, gotta, you know what, have the agent call somebody, make him stay with some good people. I don't want him to be alone with Mesar. I don't. It's a good thing, mind you, don't get me wrong. But when he and Mesar, if they go out together, like, you're not worried about this? You're not worried?
No, because you know what? Whether you live with a veteran or a family or a teammate who's the same age, I think you are who you are. Yes, you can be influenced and you can do bad things and stuff. But I remember at that age, you know, serious guys were serious guys, whatever circumstances they were put in. And not very serious guys were not very serious, even though, you know, they had, you know, sometimes helicopter parents. So I don't know. To me, it's not a concern. If he's
Montreal's too tempting, my friend. You and I, we're nobody. We would be stars in Montreal sometimes. We would go out, come here, come there, come everywhere. Marinaro and the Snake. Imagine you're Slafkovsky and Mesar.
I know it's not easy to handle being a star, and it's easy for me to say that I know all that. But look, you have to trust the guys at some point. And to me, it's not a big deal. He's just, and he even said it himself. He was going to take Mesar under his wing. So he's already playing Big Brother, although the guy's the same age.
This is a huge investment, Slafkovsky. You understand what I'm talking about? This is like you put a lot of your money in a big time stock. You have to insulate it, man. You have to cultivate it. You have to shelter it. I don't know. I don't like this, man. I know a lot of people watching are probably going to disagree with me. That's okay. It wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time. I'm just going to tell you this. I've been doing this for 20 years. And for 20 years, I've had club owners who have my number, who send me text messages. This guy's here. That guy's there. He's with him. He's doing that. It's this time. He came in here. I heard he went there. And by the way, I don't talk about this on my show. What happens in their personal life is their personal life. But the reason why they send it to me and the reason why I like having the information is it gives me a better idea to formulate an opinion. If I know that a player is going through a tough time, I'm not going to say that this is what they're doing, but I'll understand why. I'll understand why. And so we're going to agree to disagree as we always do. All right. I had Connor Bedard listed as number 1 in the draft. You had Quentin Musty. So we disagreed. You understand? So we're going to disagree. We're going to disagree again.
First time listeners will think I'm nuts if you.
Oh, no. As if they don't. They don't think you're nuts.
Yeah, but not about Bedard and Musty. Come on.
Not about Bedard and Musty.
I rank Musty number 6, even after Reinbacher.
Even after Reinbacher, yeah.
Yeah.
Increased lung capacity.
Yeah.
Is this the thing that Slafkovsky should be working on in the offseason, that he's dedicated a lot of time to this? Is this the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, because the Finnish league is the Finnish league and the NHL is the NHL. It's a big step. And I think some kids are not necessarily ready to face the challenges, the physical challenges of being in the NHL, because in those leagues, they can coast a little bit. When you reach the NHL, you got to be top shape. So, I do agree. It was a learning experience for him. He realized it. And that's why I say, part of me thinks that he should have played the whole season in Laval. Yeah. And he would not have been injured because the injury happened with the Habs and he would have played 75 games in Laval. But at the same time, I do think that spending 39 games in the NHL and going through the rigors of it and seeing what it takes to make it is also very good. So I'm not going to debate whether or not he should have been in the NHL, but all I know is that I hope that he learned from the first year.
He'd love to have Mesar playing with him. Slafkovsky from Slovakia, 19 years old. Mesar from Slovakia, 19 years old. Mesar actually about 2.5 months older than Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky shoots left. Mesar shoots right. Either of them can play either wing. As a matter of fact, Mesar even dabbled at center. It looks like Slafkovsky slated to start with the Canadiens And it looks like Mesar is slated to start with the Laval Rocket. Tonight, Thursday, July 27, I ask you, Simon the Snake Boisvert, does Philip Mesar have a chance to make the Montreal Canadiens out of camp? Yes or no?
No.
He'd say without any hesitation.
Yeah, because there's too many players already under contract on the roster, and I don't think the Canadiens are going to rush a late first rounder who's only had 1 year of junior hockey when they have to the NHL, when they have an opportunity because of the rules to have a 19-year-old player playing the AHL. If he had been drafted out of juniors, he would have had to return to junior hockey. Now the Canadiens have the opportunity to have this guy in the American Hockey League. I think they're going to take it. I think he's going to spend the whole year in Laval. He might get a cup of coffee depending on injuries, but I do think that he should spend the year. Look at what Buffalo did with Yuri Kulich, who was drafted a couple of ranks after Mesar. 18 years old, he came to the NHL. He had one of the greatest season for an 18-year-old in the history of the AHL. And you know what? They didn't call him up. So I think the benchmark for Mesar is to sort of catch up on a guy like Kulich, who might return to Rochester or might make the Sabres. I don't know. But this is the benchmark because don't forget, they were drafted like, I think one was drafted 26, one was drafted 28 or something like that.
That is absolutely correct. I have Kulich in front of me. And you know what?
Yeah.
A centerman who shoots left. I had no idea his stats were this great. 24 goals, 22 assists, 46 points in 62 games in the American Hockey League with Rochester. And in the playoffs, in 12 games, 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points. Wow.
Yes, wow.
This is impressive, my friend.
I think there's not many 18-year-old players in the AHL, but I read somewhere that you had to go back to 1944 to get as good a season from an 18-year-old. So, look, this obviously, I'm not saying it puts pressure on Mesar because when you get to the late round picks, you can't really blame a team for picking this guy over that guy, and because then it's development and everything. So I'm not criticizing the whole thing, but it is still a guy that the Canadiens passed on. So Mesar has to be at least.
Yes.
You're hoping that Mesar will at least be an NHLer one day.
Oh, my God, I think you just ruined my night here because I was going to ask you. So is it safe to say Slafkovsky and Mesar, a duo one day with the Montreal Canadiens on the same line, and you're saying you're not convinced he's going to play in the NHL?
Yeah, look, I think Mesar has a third line ceiling, which is good for a guy.
That's okay, but he'll play in the NHL if he's got a third line ceiling. Or else I was going to say
that's a ceiling.
Yeah.
Now, how he develops.
Yeah.
Because I look, if you ask me, is he going to make the NHL or not? I say more yes than no. Okay.
Good for you.
I say more yes than no. However, I don't see him go past the third line because although he's skilled, and he's fast, he's a very, very good skater. I don't think he's like, what should I say, a game breaker. He's not a game breaker, the type of game breaker that you need on a top 6 of a Stanley Cup contender. I always repeat that.
You don't have to be a game breaker. Sometimes, you know what? As long as you're a complimentary player and you fulfill a role, you don't have to be a game breaker.
But on a Stanley, but you have to be a game breaker at lower levels in order to be a complimentary player in the NHL. And so far, at lower levels, he has not been a game breaker. You understand?
I capiche.
Yeah. If you have a 72 average in CJEP, I don't think you're going to get A+ at university. But if you have a 98% average in CJEP, doesn't guarantee you're going to get A+. But at least, so it's the same thing.
It was even worse for me. I had a 72 average in CJEP, but I didn't even get into university. I thought I had dropped the course, and they told me I didn't. And all of a sudden, I got a 0 on the course, and I never got in. But what do you want to do?
Well, it doesn't matter. You've been very successful anyway, and I'm glad to be talking to you tonight.
Very is a big word, but I think, I've been able to to get by in life. Yeah,
I think you are. And I'm just sucking up to you, but it's okay.
No, you're a good man. Give my regards to Anne-Marie. Are you guys seeing each other tonight or what?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, because tonight was reserved for you, Tony.
Yeah. You have what you need for tomorrow night or what? Do you want me to send you something via Express Post or have 100 milligrams or the 10 milligrams or what?
Of what? Tylenol or something?
Snake,
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the
I don't
fun
know what you're
with
talking about, Tony.
You're the best. You know that. Simon the Snake Boisvert. I love this guy. Have a great night, my friend.
Bye,
and have a
Tony.
good night tomorrow with Anne-Marie. Give my regards to Anne-Marie. All right, will you?
I will.
All right.
I will.
No musty talk tomorrow. All right, there you have it. Another edition of the Sick Podcast. Always having fun with that guy. You know what? He's a good laugh, and he's a good sport, and he could take a few shots. We have fun, he and I. We really do. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, like it, share with your friends. Comment Sick, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K, S-I-C-K. Some of you want me to get one more. There we go. There's the spruce. You can listen to us at Google, Apple, or Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review if you want. We'd appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun. I hope you had as much fun as I did watching. Tomorrow night, another show. Same time, same place, the Sick Podcast. For Yellow and Sammy at Master Control, there, Cavallaro. I'm Marinaro.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. Bittt, embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.